Alright guys, I am back. I got some chips, so I'll do a quick nom. Hold on. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's okay. But yeah. Thank you all. Ow. I'll be honest, it kind of looked like I just went, where my chat is, I just nommed Haruka. Sorry, Bean. Well, yeah, we're back with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We got our butts right in there. Our goal for the stream is to at least get to the next trial. Well, that's probably the most I'm going to do today, since I'm already 3 hours into stream. And I feel wide awake compared to when I played this Monday. Continue. Let us move on. What? That's not what I said. I didn't say that, Haruka. What a place. Alright, let's just start looking around. I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garibdeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. Oh, there's a copy of Ren's magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garibdeb enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes too. The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Wow. That's a full-size cannon. What's it doing in here? Oh my, it's real. I thought it might be a replica. Bruh. Why do they have a real cannon in their house? That old thing? But that's little more than a toy. Sorry? The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. You never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? It isn't overkill? Be prepared, I always say. Also, I just noticed he stirs his tea with that. Why are you using that to stir your tea? You never know what this twisted world's going to throw at you next, boy. Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garibdeb? Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joanne tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. I like that. Uniform? That uniform looks very ancient, doesn't it? It's clearly been well looked after, though. That old thing? Not much better than that rags, really. Oh? Worse than ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling in the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it? Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Maybe. What's the medal for? And why is it all crooked? Why is everything crooked in here? That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner. Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight. Thank you, Ryunosuke. What? That old thing? Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it. But the general will turn in his grave. I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose? There appears to be an inscription on the metal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation. I randomly heard the fire alarm, and that scared me briefly. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Ha! Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. You don't say. Oh wait. Are those mortar shells? They're enormous. I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here? Those old things. A couple of little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know. A game, a bit of colorful regiment folklore, that isn't it? You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately. Exactly. They're only scrap iron after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what exactly? Yes, well. Joanne here did manage to knock one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting. Oh no! Hadn't shed a tear since 1869 before then, you know. Maybe reconsider throwing them away? Yeah, I would get rid of them, personally. I just think you're gonna hurt yourself. Alright, what about here? A portrait of Mr. Garrideb is glaring at me, I swear. Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographs of Prince and Mr. Garrideb as well? Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. Wait a second. My throat is dry voicing this guy. I gave him such a raspy voice. I don't know why I did. Ah, yes, seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs the place is a bally wizard. Went in to sell something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements. Susanna-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter. Yep. Alright, what's here? Look at that enormous screen! It must have been put there deliberately, surely. Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm going to have a very quick look, just a little peek. Maybe let's not, Miss Sato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. Alright, I guess we're not going to. This window looks out over Briar Road where the young woman was attacked. Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side to the road investigating the crime scene. The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly. Does this thing open at all, I wonder? I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir. Sorry? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. Seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything in the incident then. So they're not really witnesses. Okay. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Although the shells seem to be broken, and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces! It really is. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that China-ware justice. I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yes, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deeply here. Let's not get in trouble. What's on the meal? What's on the menu? Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes! Lined up on a gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? It looks more like someone has half demolished them to me. But afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garredeb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Well, naturally. It would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garredeb doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joanne, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. So she stuffs herself full of cake. Gotcha. I want to do something quick. I want to explore everything here, because I never did. Now, there's a lot I didn't explore. What on earth is this huge over-the-top machine? That's the great analytoscope. You can analyze anything, really. Anything at all. That's absolutely incredible. It's one of Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with investigations. What sort of things has he analyzed with it, do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Oh, why not? Apparently, when he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him. I don't actually have anything I need to analyze. What? Oh dear. How about you, Bruno? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze? The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. Oh my god. This giant machine and there's no use for it. Sad. I forgot to like search this area for stuff. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling the whole lot is going to topple any moment. I need water. Holy crap, my throat is messed up. Keep telling Hurley not to cram so much on those shelves. Good advice. Why not look something up in one of those books a while ago? Oh, it was so tightly wedged in, he couldn't get it out, so he went and bought a new copy instead. Well, that's sad. I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it? Of course it is. Mr. Shones is renowned for his violin playing. Oh, really? That's right. I just sort of slipped that in. You did what, Iris? I didn't really give it a lot of thought and just started adding it to the stories. Yes, Mr. Shones' exceptional violin playing has been mentioned a number of times. But the truth is, Hurley had barely touched the violin in his life up to that point. Oh. Of course, people started asking him to play for them after my stories were published. And he wasn't able to tell them that he didn't know how. What did he do? He went straight to the pawn shop and bought himself a very nice violin. And then he practiced. Practiced till his legs were nearly dropped off. Must be why he's so highly strung. Before I knew it, he'd become rather good. Greatness, the great detective really showed with the experience, I think. It was a great deception, that's for sure. Nothing left? Ugh. Looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. Seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock. As an Hono, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous. How did you come to that conclusion? Ooh, that chest contains some of the most valuable things. And this now tells me you're not going to give us any clue about what they are. Well, no, they're her private things, silly. That would be rude. I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Lingering beside the fire, watching the flames flicker and dance in the grate. Ah, it's so relaxing. Can't relax. Not when there are so many interesting things on the mantelpiece. Oh, it's just as it was described in the stories. It is? Yes, exactly. Inside that Persian slipper, for example, are my chocolates for elevances. And transfixed by the large jackknife is my shopping list for the market. What? Oh, poor Susato. Her dreams are getting crushed by one. Oh, it's not quite how I remembered it being described in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So she looks crushed. Oh, noes. It's over here. A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah! What an entrancing collection! This is the first time in my life that I've seen a lonely old shoe displayed as an ornament. Oh, those are all mementos that Hurley had collected from his past cases. Really? Even the bust? Yes, that's right. When the mood takes him, he likes to throw it on the floor and smash it to dust. The poor defenseless emperor? Mr. Sholmes destroys it. Yes, and then he buys a new one. You make it sound like he has the temperament of an insane sculptor. How entrancingly bohemian of him. Oh. Alright, what else do we got? What a beautiful English tea set, and so neatly arranged. It's a favorite pastime of mine, a cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Tea made of herbs? That's right. I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden, so I can experiment with different blends. One moment, don't go away. We're a pot of the special blend I came up with earlier today. She looks delighted. I only hope it's safe to drink. Oh. Ah, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas. Black Peter? What does that mean? Oh, how intriguing. It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us. Susato-san looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most grisly crime you can imagine. Ta! It's a case that Hurley solved just recently. A black cat called Peter went missing in the neighborhood. Hurley tracked it down at the fishmonger's in the end. Well, I can't wait for the story to be published. Oops. What else? There's a lot to look at, man. That's a charming little white shelf. And full of charming little bottles, too. Oh yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode. Explode? Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments? Yes, indeed. As Hurley always says. Chemistry is explosive science. Sorry? I agree. A single discovery true explosion innovation all around the world. Or perhaps he just meant it literally. Either way, mental note, not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris. Yes, good boy. What on earth is that big black lump over there? Ah, that's a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. And wizardly thinking quickly, too. Ooh, that sounds like it could be very useful to someone like me with terrible handwriting. Big mood. Wait, Iris, are all the stories from the Adventure of Sherlock Holmes? Yes, everyone typed in this trusty machine. Oh, my goodness! How wonderful! Sansa looks like she's been shown into the Tokyo Imperial Palace gardens. Wow. Iris is hard at work at her desk, look. She's tapping away on her typewriter so fast her fingers are a blur. Sorry, I can't stop. I have to meet the deadline for the next issue. Oh, I see. You must be very busy then. Don't disturb her, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't, so you can lower your arms now, please. I think that's everything. I'm not seeing anything left. Okay. And then there wasn't... I just want to make sure there wasn't anything out here I missed. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to take its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. According to Inspector Gregson, that's the house where Mr. Natsumi has lodgings. Just across the road from where the incident took place, I see. Must be awful for Soseki-san getting caught up in something like this in a foreign land. Alright, let's double check. Because that's the last thing I want, is to start missing stuff. Oh, wait. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? The dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as foggy in London town. Whoops, wrong button. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's to be built, though. Aha! Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, blazed on all sides and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? I can't even begin to imagine it. Anything else I may have missed? Nope. Alright, let's go back. Now we'll actually talk. Or just examine them. Good day to you. Jean Gerdub at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's the defense lawyer. Do you excuse me not getting up? I took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwan, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now. I can tell you, don't get out much, as you can imagine. He's pretty thin, though, for not getting out much. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Gerdub, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joanne? Let these good people see it properly. I want tea. I never drink tea. Ah! Dash it all, woman. Be careful. Oh my. Oh! Dearly me. I do beg your pardon, sir. You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands. I shall be more careful, sir. So, anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right? Yes, we would be very grateful if you can answer some questions for us. Only too pleased, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. Me forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in his old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Ron's magazine here, so... No, Anyway, the chap's investigated the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Sasaki-san's room. That's good to know. It's a bally nuisance, it is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. About Mr. Natsume, please. About Mr. Natsume, then, Mr. Garrideb, please do tell us. Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time. One on the ground floor, and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. There'd been— Ah! Dash it all, Joanne. Do be careful. Oh my goodness! I'm terribly sorry, sir. Oh my god. She's gonna keep burning his crotch, I swear. Well, eventually burn his crotch. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. Man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Juan, this man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes! Oh, yes, indeed there was! And she's dying to tell us. Oh boy. What was so shady about him, ma'am? Had you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man is shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day, and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else is in the house. House has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. And I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Ah. Good to know. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I'd understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? That's right, yes. They're both below us, on the first floor and street level. Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed. That's very suspicious. Ah! Guys, grief, Joanne, be more careful, woman. Oh my goodness, sir, I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up here. Suspicious. Uh-oh. So what about the incident 2 days ago? He said the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window around that time? The window? Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garrideb household. So, I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joanne? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. A moon for a head? You know what? You got a point. He really does. Well. Yes? Was there something then? Well, it's nothing particularly satisfying, but around that sort of time in here, there... Ah! For the love of God, Joanne, watch what you're doing. Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman. Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Naruhara. Oh, yes? I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Gyarados? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Joanne, dash it to all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir? Nothing happened. Ooh, she's trying to hide the truth. And I guess convincing him to. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joanne? That's right, Mr. Gyarados. What is the matter with these two? It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what? I wish I knew. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there as we speak? Yes. Told me Nat's his name. Had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that can help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he will tell us more. Alright, I guess that's all we're getting from them. Nothing, I mean, we have no evidence, so... Alright, Mr. Natsume's room. A small dark room rented by a visiting scholar from the Empire of Japan by the name of Saseki Natsume. So what do we got in here? Oh, there's a kitty! Mr. Natsume's room. Aww. What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I'll admit, I almost read that as musky. Bad me. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither. It's so dark in here, too. Doesn't help you can't see through the window. Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. For some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you? No, that's true, but according to Mr. Gyarados told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Well, for now, I guess we just look? I'm not really sure what to look for, though. Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home. It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Nanui didn't bring that Moneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Jinx the Omen. Hello. Why are you giving me a mad face? You pop in and you're mad? Hello, Jinx. How you doing? Thanks for coming by. Hope you're doing good today. We're having some fun investigating for Mr. Natsume, who probably didn't intend to hurt anyone, but he's just kind of unlucky. Are you forgetting the enormous Darumu doll that you brought in your luggage? Well, that can be dangerous traveling abroad. It's the state of uncertainty? What kind of uncertainty are you thinking of? Well, it can be dangerous traveling aboard. I want a lucky charm. Abroad, sorry. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same. Haika. What? Rah, no yo. You're the cutie. Now I nom you. Now I get it. I give you an angry nom. Oh, I'm silly. This cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? You mustn't say such things. Oh my god, Titan, what is that emote? Ugh. Ew, why? I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? I guess that's how she's able to know everything. Yeah, it's a little cursed. What? No! No, I did it as a joke! Ah! I mean, are you fine being numbed? Are you fine being numbed, Haruka? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm moving on. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reached the ceiling. Well, alright. Well, we got our answer. Haruka likes to be numbed. Understood. They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No, what a dreamy idea. A bad dream, maybe, for me at least. Mind you, I don't mention the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path to tea ceremony philosophy. Alrighty then. What a weird conversation. Could you even call this a window? I think so. It was a window at one time after all, although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps Mr. Natsumi painted the brick design on in a whimsy. That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying. Alright, what else? All the books. So there's not really much else to look at. Let's look at the kitty. Meow. Aww. She's adorable. Oh, bye. Oh my, what adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. I don't know about that. He disappeared into the pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike? Wasn't it? Did they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Perhaps Mr. Sumi brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. Aww. Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Yeah, that is true. We've barely even been here. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. They're now scrawled all over them in English. It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen out. I think Mr. Hatsumi must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you? Or deeply adverse to tidying up his mess. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. And this. That desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Asumi would sit there and read while stroking his cat. Was he stroking anything else? You know what I'm saying. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. I made a joke! It was a joke! No! Oh my god, why am I getting licked? It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books. Oh yes, Mr. Sumi's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. 2 days ago, 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident. That's just a short while before he's embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Okay, so we got sort of a timetable. 4:45. So we have an idea where he was at least. What? How did you appear like this, Nani? Sholmes, why do you suddenly appear like that? Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Aha, there he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you don't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. You two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're taking SS Buria. Yes, of course, the Buria. And let me see, what happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Sogi. He died, tragically, but you were a great help to us. Yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh, well, you seem to remember something of it at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr. Oh, no, my dear madam, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. Almost, buddy. You almost had it. Good try. I'll give him a passing record. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. Oh boy. Confidently incorrect, I know, right? In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me on the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Suzuki-san in that short amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls that can distend to any extent. He is right. You only can hold so much knowledge and remember so much. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, for an adventure called The Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should be only too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Yes, we get more times to talk to him. So what about his arrest? We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Seki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. Mr. Natsume denies it. Is it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? I can't believe he's looking so squarely eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. It appears that the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective Scott Yard made the following request to me, and I quote verbatim: "We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene." Ah, a man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, what did you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is a culprit then? That I could not tell you, but it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. So, he wasn't actually arresting anybody, he just wanted to find the person fleeing, or he was told to. So, what about Mr. Garadeb? Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is in services. And it was the first time I've met a maid from the Great British Institution that is service. Good one. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, quite as much as my Great Britain primer. And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standings? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelon society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary. See, all the maids employed in Great Britain come from our Discord server. We're training the maids to be hired by Londoners. This is the truth. We live in the 19th century. No, actually, early 20th century. Sorry, I had to make sure I corrected myself. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea, and it's for precisely that reason I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs, specifically in the retired army veteran Mr. John Garadeb. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. I'm gonna check something quick, actually. Oh, so 2 shillings to enter receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoy, a meal for Gavarro, and Canterbury Yearnings. So So what about the dingy room in here? This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man who's not is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. Alright, I need to numb. Mr. Natsumi has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes? Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there's a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows? Precisely that. Oh my goodness. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly closed windows up. Wow. That's really a thing? Oh man, I'd have to close up all my windows. I wouldn't be able to afford that tax. Well, the rich open windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust. Forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Yeah, that sounds about right. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So, some 4 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsumi's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings are offered at an extraordinarily low price. Because the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently Mr. Natsumi only moved in here about a week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here, a matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. I guess that's it. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Wasn't that your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually offended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Natsumi didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there's simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing. Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us! I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garadeb is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that can help establish Natsume's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garrett secrets. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be a relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, he's not going to help us? A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Oh yeah, he's just reading again. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, to be or not to be brushed off, that is the question. And the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Alright. I guess we gotta go back and, try to figure stuff out. Scaredeb's room. Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Sherlock Sholmes? Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joanne. Now then, why don't you tell me what— Ah! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bollywell doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Ah, yes, of course. Pardon, Ruby, I'm afraid I'd ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. We're deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. Actually, according to Mr. Sholmes, Scaredeb is hiding something. Since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at all, perhaps we should do some digging. What? Why? Why? Sholmes, I'm just gonna eat. Hello. Ah, what's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes? Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. My god. What is with him? Good gracious, when you sneak in here? Sherlock Sholmes, sir. At your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks in the aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of building a small corner of space by the window up here. Well, keeping an eye on one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Yes! Great deduction coming up! Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo. I think so. There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Yes! Let's go! Mr. Garrett, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as landlord is certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. The first. is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. So now hold a look. The man's broken down in cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Roshone's conclusions both spot on. Chronos, hello. We're about to do a great deduction, by the way, but no, this is not the Jack the Ripper case. We're just trying to find some kind of lead to try to prove Natsume innocent. How? How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Also, the maid loves to pour hot tea all over his lap. A lot. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Rockshone's proudly present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go! Gonna drink some water here quick. Alright, nature of the beast. I love these camera angle stuff. I love this so much. I certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. Alright, sleep well, Chronos. I hope you get some good rest. That fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with the military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Geardead, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? Oh god, he burned his face! Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature disappear to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a certain show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Geardead, at Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. I'm not so certain about that. I doubt the lion would be able to fit in there. Now, Mr. Geardead, it's plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that plight posed, the distress this loss has cost you veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man. I simply... But what, we must now ask ourselves, is the true cause of this pain? Now we need to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. 4 cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. I'm pretty certain that's just grocery list. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the frozen beach carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh, dear me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only look at the Tower of Cakes. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it, or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion one saw in India. What? Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Okay then. Look at that! Ah! What's the matter with you, Joanne? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Girdeb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. Oh my god, their faces! They were so shocked! There we go. That was funny. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Oh! Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again. Can I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? Indeed, it's the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Girdeb's mate would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. What? I'm not so certain about that. They said that they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing, but I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Mr. Sato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great Britain's soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Is that all it takes for me to drink tea and like it? Alright, can someone help me buy a flight to the UK so that I can finally have tea and enjoy it? Because it seems that that's like a magic curse when you go to Britain. Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it. Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least that's what I want to believe. Let's start again. From the beginning. Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, let's go. Time for course correction. Oh, he's got the sword on him now in this. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Alright, so let's go back again. And let's fix this case. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Gyarados, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Alright, so here's the first fix. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. Nobody feels. Is there Mr. Gyarados' reaction? It seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. And it's something with a very fierce nature. And it could have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Gyarados' gaze. That'll lead us to the true answer. Okay. Well, you can look at this quick. Well, this is the lion stitch that Mr. Sholmes picked out. Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if he did live with the lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. I have seen videos of people owning lions as pets, and it somehow does work. Lions or tigers. I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet. I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it? Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's go have a look around. Mortar shells? These are shells for the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them. I imagine they have some significance to Miss Gyarados from his time in the army. Of course, he mentioned the battle to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him. If around the size of his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Gyarados for that matter. She also has a Persian slipper. And this man has spent shells. Perhaps the customary brand display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. I mean, I don't see anything else.
Take that!
Take that! The true identity of the beast that tore this room apart is these shells. With their butter wouldn't melt accomplice the cannon. Well, war is good for nothing, it brings only destruction. Something we must all strive to understand. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just wanting natural aggression and deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a term for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Ouch! Yes, a lot. Okay, so what else is there? Well, what do we know with certainty is that the destructive creature has been at work in this room. And Mr. Gyarados inadvertently looked in the direction of something that gives its identity away. Oh. What did Mr. Gyarados turn to look at? It's here somewhere. We simply need to find it. I don't know why I thought that would work. What? Oh. Whoa! What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Gyarados' wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. But no matter what cracks could hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you want to upset, that's for sure. But look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. It's like some sort of embellished sunflower. The bride?
Take that!
Really? I did not expect that. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Gyardeb. And while we let the defect their faces obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh, indeed, surely anyone with such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Gyardeb. Yeah! Oh god, he burned himself. The chilling traces. Sorry, I'm fixing myself quick. Adjusting my buttocks, because it's a little sore sitting on the bed, like this. So let me fix myself for you folks. And for myself, too, because otherwise I'm going to be in a lot of pain tonight. Oh god, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Whoops. Okay. Well. Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it's plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Shulman is quite right. There's no sign of Miss Gyardeb anywhere. It seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Miss Gyardeb's wife could be. Is she the wife? Oh! Oh, that's a very close up. Ha ha ha. She's wearing a very large ring. Look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Gyardeb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It's a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. By coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? Yeah.
Take that!
You're fucked. Your wedding ring gives us handsome clues to Beast's current whereabouts. Oh! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gyardeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Miss Gyardeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gyardeb herself. Oh my! What? Wow, so he doesn't actually have a regular maid. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joanne. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bally co-worker. Ah! It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, and you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I'm a second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man that has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when the chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb? Only in company, obviously, but listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret. Please. Alright, so there's our first one. The raging wife of Mr. Garrideb. I could see her being rage heavy with how much she's burning his crotch with tea. Oh boy. Now, Mr. Garrideb, it's plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, an implied pose that distress this loss has cost you is veritably intangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. It shows quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true! So where's that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head? It has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mrs. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. What can that pose of his really signify? Oh! We saw that a few times. I thought that was a burn mark on his hand. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. I didn't realize that was her hand. Jesus, she's abusive. Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made with somebody's hand. Yes, Mr. Garrideb is slapped in the face, it seems. Hard. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. Jesus. Ambrose, Lemoria, hello to you. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the fun stream.
Take that!
We're doing a course correction on Sholmes' logic and reasoning deduction. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by the slapped cheek. Like, look at that mark! That looks so painful! How do you get smacked that hard on your face and it stays? And of course, deliver that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame John Garrideb? Joan Garrideb? Well, yes. Look how innocent she was there. I'm glad you're doing good, Ambrose. Welcome, welcome. Hope you have a chilling time here as we delve through this case deeper. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! How the blazes! How'd you work it out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage. So they're both, So he's changing the stuff up a little bit. We only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that's giving rise to the pain you suffer. Well, it's definitely not that now. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all the food was Mr. Gyarados' wife. Mr. Hollow, she's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. Yeah, it's pretty bad. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. So what do we got? Oh! The bookmark itself, I see there's something written on it. Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Gyarados was clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Was he cheating on her? That whore. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look at the signature here. Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susana-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Uh-oh. And that's why you got to examine. Just want to look at this quick. Looking at all these bills, it certainly amounts to a great deal of food. Meat and potatoes by the cartload, wasn't it? Well, looking at the two of them, you can tell immediately who eats the lion's share in this household. Well, at least we're no longer talking about an actual lion anymore. Ta! And we can look at the books quick. There are a lot of books stacked up on the shelf here, look. All novels that I've never heard of. It appears somebody has purchased them all from a second-hand bookshop. I think I'm scared that was something of a book lover. Well, let's present the love note.
Take that!
Alright. Yes, it's this love note that's giving rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here? Oh, ow! Gah! I don't know that bully woman. You don't know her. That note wasn't written to me. It's just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Ah! A likely story. Listen here, Joanne, old thing. I explained all the time. At the time, I bought the book at that secondhand place. That note must have already been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Ah! My god, he's gonna have so many burn marks. Unlikely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. Unlikely story. Are you questioning my name now? Oh my god. They're so abusive. Jesus Christ. So many burns, so many slaps. Oh, this woman, man. I better not. I hope I don't get married to someone like her. She will kick my ass so many ways, and I'd be terrified. So there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh, dear me. What could cause such destructive outbursts? Oh, this time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has very early revealed the truth to me. You're wondering, I have settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. But surely Mr. Scaredub didn't eat the carpet? No, of course not, but there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We only need to follow Mrs. Scaredub's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. The handbill? This is an advertising handbill for the circus, Batty's Circus. It's a nearby park. Isn't this the same as the one we saw earlier? One that's folded up in Miss Scaredub's pocket? Perhaps they're very great circus lovers? I don't know about that. It couldn't be that the Hungry Lion somehow evolved again here, could it? Oh dear, I do hope not. No, I'm pretty certain that's not it. Oh, I can't even turn it now. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? Base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. Looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of 3 missing from its holder? Well, take a look at this here. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. As you would think with that in mind. Well, there's not really anything else left, right? Because I can't look at the...
Take that!
Yeah. Nothing else you can look at here. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow. And of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Miss Scaredub's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. On the entire room, the force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Oh, so that's why that corner is correct and is covered up, so you can't see what's got burnt behind there. Yes, For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared his claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion here. I love these poses. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. He put the tea down? He stood up! Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Oh god, don't fall! No! Why did he fall? Well, that's one way to end it. I didn't see that coming. He stood up for like 5 seconds and then just passed off. Deduction complete. Elementary. Yes, I love doing this stuff. It's so cool. So different. It's those dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good secondhand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material, for which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather. The cute detective? No. Free. Alright, no. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And B still certainly at this. Ah! There we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Ha! The day long for the fire spread, of course. The body furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Can we look? Over here, Mr. Garrett? Bluey Wright, attorney at Paw. What? Haruka, don't get excited. Please don't get excited. If you'll allow me. Alright, what we got? Burned the bookshelf. Held my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window of a heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite, book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be the correct once again. It can only be described as a great British wonder. I mean, he was sort of right. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle. Interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. So exactly the same time as the terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Oh! Interesting that it happened at exactly the same time. I like that Awu email. Now I'm looking at it more. It's cute. And don't give me that look, Haruka. Now that I go back to that. More terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flying out outside my window at that moment. And I wouldn't notice a dash thing. Oh, really? It's not even Egypt, let alone a river there. Yeah. Oh, these two. Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? What can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrett situation now. What does that have to do with Mr. Natsumi's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether a secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that. Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsumi's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourself to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrett. Oh, Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Seki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Hold on, I want to look. What a miserable sight. Oh dear, but at least the whole room wasn't engulfed in flames. I suppose so. My whole collection went up in smoke, you know. All those novels I adored so much. Tis, well, John, whose fault is that? Not mine, that's for sure. Well, whoever may or may not be to blame, I'm quite sure you can buy some new old books to replace them, can't you? New old books, bally nonsense. It does sound like a contradiction in terms, but then these two are full of contradictions. That's couples for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Or so I've been led to believe. I guess that's... nothing else, right? Oh, I didn't... oh, the candlestick. This old candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason. That old thing? Yes, just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Grimcrack, really. Oh, used it when I was studying, don't you know? For my commission. I know it's old, hardly worth hanging on to, really. But, well, still has its uses sometimes. Of course. Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it? They're memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories. Okay, I think there's nothing left. Let me double check. Yeah, I can just talk to them and that's it. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm afraid it's supper time now. I want to ask you to leave. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. If we linger too long, Mr. Garrett will start pouring tea again. No one wants that. Alright, shall we go then? Seki-san is beside himself in his cell waiting for us to return. I can't afford to spend any longer making up my mind. Yeah, let's get out. Alright. Back to prison. It's time to make our decision. Oh wait, what? Briar Road first? It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a car. Oh. What's the matter? Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Erdeb's house. Hmm? I have a lot of questions. Okay, this is not something I expected. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. What you calling it, old man, you rum-looking... Nimini Plimini? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me? Eh? What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Naruhodo, is the lawyer, you see? Eh? A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I study English law. Fine, I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? What is happening? What is going on? Who is he? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? More quotes that you can shake a spear at? Yeah. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Gyardeb residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right! Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Gyardeb mentioned the inner lodger, didn't he? This was to be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words near could there be. Sorry? Battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well! I didn't really understand him. I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Natsume, so he can't really help us. So Seki-san and that man is lodgers. The Gyardeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyways, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. That's how we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. That was, something, to say the least. My god. Oh, it's echoing. Whoops, turn that down. Desktop audio. Okay, local prison cell 9. 6:31 p.m. Yes, we get to voice him. It's you! You came! No, comes to the Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! I can't believe it came back! I'm so touched! We're so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no, relax. If I were a cat, I would with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Lovable, nurturing, never failing, not police. He's forming an E. Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? Oh, stretch. Alright, give me a sec. I need to get up and stretch. Stretch my buttocks. No, I'm kidding. I definitely need to stretch at least. Oh, yeah, I just stretched my chest out. I think I needed that. Oh. Jesus. Booty stretching? Yeah, sort of. What are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having a curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having amassed the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how a divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyways, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been delight and cost me not a penny. Ah! You! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned! What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? What? I can't even examine. I just gotta converse for now. So the cursed trial. So Natsumi, what do you mean by what you just said now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean your trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper, or the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please, tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGilded. What? I'm impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Seeks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. It's a possibility. He said it wasn't going to be over. Maybe he really did kill him. You have such wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is! Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What? What do you mean by that? Oh, what? I'm really curious. Van Seek's a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. So Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law. His jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right? Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. Fight enemies at their disposal, retrieving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. As such, on hand means those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Oh. And I guess they wouldn't be able to figure out stuff that's fake or not. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madam, is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Seeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my! Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom in their freedom, within months, they all disappear. Is most striking, really. Disappear? But how? By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Wow, that's fucked. I knew it. I'm dead. Dildo. Done for. Doomed. Yikes. This got real. Everyone dies if they get declared not guilty at some point. Yikers. Cursed lodgings. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garredeb's house, I assume? Didn't you say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to know strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me, so I started going nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. Even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. And he's still dabbing while he's speaking. Dabbing with the OK sign. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake. It was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. That's true, it was all no. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved to that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. In waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Or really no one at all? Aww. To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Haruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Bluey, if you recall. The Bluey, ah, that case. The one with the snake? Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you leaded me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes, you mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Easter fellow found with the victim in the locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying.